Hello, my name is Jay Damle, and I'm the author of the book Unscheduled Delays: Why Do They Happen and How to Avoid Them. The book is available on Amazon. I also have a website, www.bookunscheduleddelays.com, and please visit the website as there are few free bonuses which are available to you when you visit the site. In preparation for writing this book, I had the good fortune of visiting perhaps one of the most premier literature research site, which is located in Washington, D.C., and that is the Library of Congress. And while doing the research, the name of Henry Lawrence Gantt, a mechanical engineer by profession, kept popping up in different literature articles, as he was recognized as the first pioneer to develop the visual tool to show schedule and actual progress of the projects. The example that you see here on the slide shows what a Gantt chart looks like, and this is a simple bar chart you can see for a very small project which has about 14-15 activities there. It shows that the activities plan durations, and you can use that to status the activities as your project progresses. The Gantt chart quickly became popular, and it was perhaps one of the most celebrated tool, and was also used for building the complex Hoover Dam. The next big development came about during 1957 to 1960 timeframe, when during the U.S. Navy's Polaris program to develop a nuclear-powered submarine. That's when the PERT program, as it is known, was developed, which stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. And concurrently to that, the DuPont Corporation efforts were to build an optimized cost schedule facility of a synthetic fiber plant, and that's when the critical path method, or the CPM technique, came about. See the example below, which shows a PERT chart for a project with 5 milestones, milestone 10 through 50, and 6 activities, A through F. The project has 2 critical paths. Activities B and C, and activities A, D, and F. They both have a 7-month duration. Activity E is subcritical. A critical path is determined by identifying the longest stretch of dependent activities and measuring the time required to complete them from start to finish. Both the techniques, PERT and CPM, use the fundamentals of a logic network with some basic calculations. CPM is now perhaps the most widely used tool in the industry. It uses a 2-word terminology to build a logic and duration, and then of course resource-driven activity network. And an event or a milestone, which has a 0 duration, and an activity, which is definable and time-consuming task with duration. There are 3 basic considerations that must be employed to assemble a network plan. First, what other activities or events must be completed before this particular activity can start? Second, what other activities can be going on while this particular activity is underway? And the third, what activities cannot start until after this particular activity is completed or at least underway? So it builds this network activity by activity. When the networks began to be used, graphical presentation of these networks was done via two different methods. One is the arrow diagram method, or which is also known as the bedsheet network, or the second one is the precedence diagram method, PDM, developed by the Zachary Construction of Texas and IBM. That was perhaps the greatest advance in the development of CPM network. The reader is encouraged to visit my website to learn more about ADM and PDM, and the website is www.bookunscheduleddelays.com, and this material is available as a bonus when you purchase the book. PDM is now perhaps the most relevant tool in the industry. The next big development came in the early 1970s via the development of earned value concept. Finding a common denominator of man-hours or man-days to measure progress and performance of each activity in a network with different scopes, of activities with different scope. For example, a project network of 800 activities, let's say, each activity with different man-hour budget totaling 100,000 hours. You had to earn 100,000 hours to declare 100% progress. If the project spent more than 100,000 hours, let's say 120,000 hours, your project performed poorly. And if it spent less than 100,000 hours to earn 100,000 hours, then of course it performed better than expectations. An unpleasant development during this time frame was also growing number of disputes between the contractor and the client, leading to the claims industry. The claims industry today is a multi-billion-dollar and a global industry, and it's thriving. And that is perhaps one most reason why project management has become so important today. The tools and processes that I present in my book will help you better manage and then minimize the schedule delay risks. To get a copy of the book, please visit my website www.bookunscheduleddelays.com. You have probably heard of the adage, plan the work and then work the plan. In the planning phase of the project, you are focused on establishing a logical sequence in which the activities of a project need to be performed regardless of the duration or the resources that the activities are going to take. Therefore, usually this task is done by knowledgeable individuals such as engineers working on a specific engineering discipline or a construction superintendent who has years of hands-on experience building a facility. Scheduling, on the other hand, falls to senior planners, schedulers working in the project controls department who have the ability to communicate with the stakeholders to take the plan and then develop a logic, duration, and resource-driven activity event network, a mathematical model that will be put in a computer using the established software packages. As the chief planner, scheduler for our company's oil and gas division, my job was to oversee the development and maintenance of these complex plans and schedules for all of our projects, and then also train the talented individuals and deploy them to support and manage these projects executed around the world. In the next video, we will discuss the important tools that are used in today's planning and scheduling. So look forward to see you in the next video. Thank you.